Guys, we finally bought an NSX, but not an Acura. We just bought a cheap gaming PC that we are going to attempt to upgrade to game.
And as they say right here, your gaming PC is NSX. I don't really know what that means, but we have a gaming PC that on paper looks really solid for $380, but is it actually worth it? We're gonna unbox it and find out after word from today's sponsor.
If you want some good deals on parts and systems that are reliable and good, you need to check out today's video sponsor, Micro Center. And it's no surprise when they have things like BYO Month. For all of February, Micro Center is running some amazing deals on all things BYO, which leads to some insane prices on components. My favorite deals is Ryzen 9700X, B650, and 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM combo for $400. And in case you didn't know, Micro Center is a GPU trade-in program. That means if your previous graphics card was purchased from Micro Center, you're able to return it same day and use it to offset the cost of that new upgrade. Micro Center can also help you recycle responsibly to make a positive impact on the environment and your community. By choosing Micro Center for eco-friendly e-cycling, you can keep harmful e-waste out of landfills. And for everyone in or around Santa Clara, Micro Center is opening a brand new store. Be sure to sign up for their grand opening giveaway and snag a free 128GB flash drive when the doors officially open. Big thanks again to Micro Center for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
All right, I'm ready to open the dented head box.
Yeah, it's a little dented here.
A
little dented, but this is an NSX gaming PC that we bought on Walmart for $380 shipped. Use the link down below for up-to-date pricing and availability. Comes with the 5600G, which looks like it's the GT, which is the slightly newer version of the G. GT, 16 gigs of RAM, a 512 gig SSD, and the reason I bought this, because again, we see a lot of APU computers out there, is on the image, everything looked very name brand and quality components. I mean, the power supply looked name brand, the case looks solid, the motherboard looks standard. So the idea is this the perfect starter PC for someone to get into gaming with an APU, be able to upgrade it very high end to even a different CPU if you want to. And at that price point, it might make a lot of sense for people.
I know you were mentioning off camera MSI. Look at the peripherals we got here.
Oh, there you go.
This is kind of weird. This is like an MSI Forge combo, like that would come with one of their pre-builds.
So they must have some deal with MSI, because in the pictures, when I was talking about name brand components, the power supply is an MSI power supply, which they're very solid power supplies. And normally we see really cheaped out power supplies and builds like this at this price range. Is that more MSI? Oh, so that shows the motherboard is at least standard.
Yeah, MSI motherboard. It looks like it's in power supply.
Okay.
What the heck?
So yeah, that's kind of cool at this price point. Again, normally we're looking at STG, who's using these AliExpress boards that you can't really upgrade. Again, you're gonna lose performance out of the gate because you're running an APU without a graphics card. But if you're willing to upgrade it and the power supply is at least a 550 watt power supply with an 8-pin power, it's really easy to upgrade this into a really good gaming PC.
Yeah, and we do have a double box setup, but I will say,
And it's in an MSI case.
yeah, it was a little bit loose in there, like the cardboard.
Okay, so they do
like
use an
no
MSI M100A. I don't think we've seen this one before.
Is it actually gonna be a micro HX case with a micro HX board? Is this real, chat?
Maybe. The picture I don't think showed that. I think it did show like a
Full size?
Yeah, full size of the micro, which again is not great, but if everything else is what we expected, you know, it should be fine.
One thing I do see about this case is it says this has an acrylic panel.
Ooh, that's cheap. So we're getting, that's where the compromises are made.
So far, I don't feel like I see any damage. This is always a good sign.
Yeah, we have a track record of damaged computers, especially recently here, especially with the eBay computers.
Yeah, I wonder if this probably doesn't even need foam on the inside. It doesn't look like we got any, right?
There is no foam on the inside.
No graphics card. So.
Okay, so no GPU. Obviously, everything is looking like the picture, which it is a micro ATX case, so that's nice.
Jonah probably, this acrylic panel's like kind of tinted. You probably can't see anything.
Nope, let's go ahead and take this off so you can see it. But yeah, this is definitely, definitely acrylic.
Are your fingers strong enough?
Apparently my fingers are like extra strong this morning. I do a lot of activities. You can interpret that as you wish. Okay, those, yeah, I got the easy ones.
Oh yeah, those ones were like extra on there.
There we go.
Let me use my good hand.
You're gonna help with your good hand? Thank you. All
you know, whenever I see something like this, because we were just talking about this morning on stream, how every company is like affiliated with another company. I'm like, what are the chances this is like a sub-branch of MSI?
It could be, very well.
Okay, so MSI motherboard, Patriot SSD. What kind of RAM is that?
It's Patriot.
Oh, yeah, Viper, okay.
Nice.
Patriot Viper RAM, stock AMD cooler, which I like to see that. I cannot stand those freaking aftermarket RGB coolers. I mean, the power supply is a 550BN?
550BN, which is a really solid power supply. You can get for about, was it like 50 bucks nowadays?
Yeah, now the motherboard's kind of cheap. I mean, it is just, was it a A520?
Okay,
so it does, cheap. Yeah, it only has one 4-pin for the CPU power, only 2 RAM slots, and then there's no VRM coolers. So, you know, cheaper board, but like you don't really need much more with this APU.
It would limit you in theory to CPU upgrades. I would say the highest I'd probably go is like 5600X.
Yeah.
But even then, like the only thing you're really benefiting there is you get slightly higher speed, but you're really just getting that Gen 4 support, which I don't know if the motherboard would support Gen 4. It might not. It probably would be a Gen 3 only if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I've never heard of this company. I always wonder, like, where did these companies come from?
So cable management looks fine. I mean, again, they don't have to run the GPU power. As long as, this is not a modular power supply, is it? Okay, so the GPU power is tucked in here, because we will be needing that later in the video. So as you can see, yep, you got an 8 pin right here, which I would assume this one would come with like an 8 plus 8.
Molex.
Oh God, the Molex for the RGB.
Prodigy vibes.
Oh God. But hey, it's not bad. Cable management's fine. It's accessible where you can get to what you need to get to. And there's no major red flags. We gotta see if it actually works though. We're talking this up, but then if it doesn't work, that's a problem.
What's the point?
What's the point? And there we go.
Other Prebuilt companies take notes.
Yeah, so I think this is, let's see, there's an RGB button. Let's see. Probably just reset.
It's giving static vibes.
Yeah, with the Molex, it's giving static vibes.
Reset switch.
The reset switch is plugged in?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there is no way to control the RGB, which is a downer in my opinion. But again, we're gonna do some performance numbers with the 5600G and games that would make sense for it. Then we're gonna show you guys a GPU upgrade that would make sense to try to keep this, around $600 bill would probably be ideal for like plopping in a GPU in total for everything. See what that performs like, see if the 5600G still works well with a modern GPU and determine whether or not this is worth it. But the price point and the build quality so far is looking good.
All right, guys, we are playing Apex Legends, and we are throwing it back old school with an APU. But as you can see, we're currently running 1080p. There's no upscaling or anything in this game. We have VSync disabled, and we're basically running like pretty much the lowest settings possible. And it doesn't look great, but it is, I will say, so far it's playable.
It's playable, not amazing. We're getting the low 50s, close to 60s. You could default to 1600 by 900 if you really want to get like a locked 60 FPS, but for the live benchmarks, we're going to just start with quote-unquote realistic games that you can play with the 5600G out of the box, and from there we'll show you guys games you can't play, and then we'll do the GPU upgrade. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I think the GPU upgrade is going to make this thing pretty insane.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a dramatic difference. You guys will see how much more FPS we get after we add it. Even though the 5600 GT does have less L3 cache versus a normal 5600, and it will be impacted a little bit, it is still a good CPU. He said we can snipe on this.
We're doing it. Look at these. Oh, I just can't hit anyone. Like, I'm like constantly like scrolling past them.
There you go.
Like, now we're all just fighting over this spot. Let's see how quick I can donate this to someone. And here's your donation.
Wow!
There's your donation, sir.
Wow!
I got killed by Lenny. Oh my gosh.
It's coming in so fast. Yeah! Oh, when they hit.
Man, I swear it's my latency. That no-scope was insane. This guy's just out here.
They kind of pulled away.
Yep, there they go. Well, I gotta say, on an APU, Apex Legends, I feel like a couple of years ago it was a little better, like 80-ish FPS, but now it just doesn't really feel playable, honestly.
Let's play Fortnite. Maybe that'd be more playable. All right, guys, we were playing Fortnite, 1080p unlimited frame rate performance mode here, because obviously that was designed for APU gaming in mind. Far view distance, low textures, and we are running OG Fortnite, which is definitely builds. Matt, remember this is builds, because I hit builds again. Honestly, we should expect like 80-something FPS. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Right now we're going to definitely drop down to the 60s and 70s on this drop, but hopefully we maintain around 80 FPS, and a good example of a realistic title for an APU. And yeah, I'll be excited to see what the jump is like when we add our graphics card. Yeah, we're getting about, now we're getting 100 FPS on the inside, but I imagine on the outside we'll get at least 60 plus. Oh, what?
Oh,
there's someone hiding.
Ambush.
Ah, that was so mean.
Just certified builder.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah! So this is low quality as Fortnite can play. I will tell you that. That's fine. We're here to play the game. Performance. Oh, ooh.
Oh god, it's a build battle.
Oh! Oh, I totally missed.
Did you?
Oh! No! Oh, that guy was a real gamer. He got me. I tried to play the low ground, didn't work out very well. But hey, at times we're getting 100 FPS, 90 on performance settings. APU example. Don't expect much more than this, but just because you guys are gonna be like, well, you should have tested harder games, we'll show you what they look like, and then we'll do the GPU upgrade, run back some benchmarks and some other games that we wouldn't recommend, and yeah, see what this thing is capable of. But out of the gate, everything looks good. Let's see how it handles a graphics card. All right, guys, we decided to go with this ASRock Challenger RX 7600. Now, you could go to the used market and pick up something like, let me go over here, an RTX 2060. They go for around 120 to about 130 bucks. Would be a good option, but I wanted to go with the 7600 because I wanted to represent a graphics card that is mid-range and also easy to get new right now because the graphics card market is kind of messed up. And show you guys that plopping this thing in for about 240 bucks is a really good upgrade option. B580 was a consideration, but it's really hard to get, and it doesn't work very well with budget CPUs because of the whole CPU overhead issues. So we're gonna go ahead and get this Challenger card installed, good to go, and then from there we'll go up and tally up the entire price of this build now with the GPU upgrade and see, is it worthwhile getting the system to upgrade? Let's find out.
All right, guys, so we are now testing out Marvel Rivals once again. This time we have, of course, the RX 7600 installed, and this is an example of a game that before would have is pretty much unplayable on just an APU, and that really is any APU. It's a pretty demanding game, and as you guys can see, even with, let's see what's saying right
Basically the same settings we were running on the APU, so like all low.
This is good FPS, but it's crazy, like this is how demanding this game is.
Yes.
You'd almost think you'd be getting like 400 FPS now, but it's like, no, here's your high refresh rate, that's all you get.
Yeah, and you guys saw on screen there, we were getting like 30 to 40 FPS with frame gen enabled, and it was not good with the 5600G.
Not playable. So we have that going for us. But it's okay, I'm a tank. I can take these shots. Oh God! Oh my God! I got Spiderman.
I like the
my toes are touching.
They're kind of just pushing and nothing stopping them.
Yeah, but they're about to fear Magneto.
Get them.
Oh God! Where's that ult coming from? It's on me if anyone was wondering. Dude, where is this? Oh my God! I don't know how to hit. I'm just pinging him. Oh, they got cloaked. Oh my God! I have 25 HP. Please. I can't.
You can't hit him. You can't hit him.
Oh my God, guys, he's one tap, please.
Yes.
Oh God, whale. Oh God. Penny, I can't let you live. Okay, Penny just got full heals. I wish I knew what that felt like. Oh my God, double spider ult. Holy crap.
The spider
Holy
arms.
crapola.
Hey.
Oh, we done lost. But I feel like we won with the PC upgrade.
Yeah, no, all in all, this was much better than the APU, and the fact that we keep the system under $700, we're at the $600 range for this system, and the performance you're getting is actually pretty good. We'll run some other benchmarks to show you guys 3D market stuff like that, but all in all, this looks like a pretty good starter pre-built. All right, guys, we are now benchmarking Spider-Man 2 on this PC with the RX 7600. Now, I normally would run back Fortnite to compare it to the APU, but I'll instead show you guys right here what the performance is like side by side. It was a good uplift, but on performance settings, we were still CPU bound. We were still at some points getting 200 FPS with the GPU now, which was good to see, but it wasn't one of those things where I wanted to run that game back because it would be that big of a difference. What I wanted to show you are games that you would have not been able to probably even launch and play, like Spider-Man 2, AAA titles. So as you guys can see right here, we're currently running 1080p high settings, 0 upscaling, 0 resolution scaling. We're currently just running native 1080p, and we're getting close to 60 FPS. Actually, we are getting 60 FPS. Now, you see those stutters right there? That is definitely gonna happen with the 5600 GT. Going to be a little bit CPU bottlenecked here. I just see our GPU usage is only at about 80%, give or take, but this is playable, and I think we have a little bit of room to mess around with FSR if we want to, but if I was on a budget PC trying to play the latest and greatest titles that just came to PC, this being one of them, and as you see now, things are kind of settling out. We're actually staying at 60 FPS. It's looking pretty dang good. Let's swing around here, see if I can find some more demanding areas. Yeah, this is good. This is looking nice and solid here. There's a crime activity. Let's go fight this. But yeah, man, it's really impressive. The 5600 GT is a CPU that not a lot of people talk about anymore because of the new APUs on the market. But with these pre-built companies, now that it's an older CPU, are able to make pre-builts at this price point. The whole selling point of that CPU was the upgrade first and the whole idea of having a good upgrade path. And it was kind of hard to justify because it was one of those things where the CPU one didn't perform that great, and for the price it didn't perform that great. But right now, as an APU, I think it's still pretty good. And we're able to play these games getting 60 FPS, 1080p. And once I finish this battle over here, I'm gonna switch to some upscaling, see what kind of FPS we can get. I won't turn on frame gen or anything, but I'll try some FSR, see what FSR looks like. maybe we can get a more constant high 60 FPS, but in a game like this is one of those games where if I get 60 FPS, I'm incredibly happy. You really do not need much more than that. All right, so we are currently running FSR 3, and I will say, I think this just shows you how we're a bit CPU bottlenecked because it's actually running a little bit worse. We were actually, at the beginning, we were targeting 60 FPS, so there was a bit of an upscaling happening there. So it wasn't like true 1080p high, but this is still pretty playable. But I would probably just run no upscaling right now. Let's see, it's just for the fun of it, I always like to set it to performance mode. Let's go to display graphics, let's set it to, let's go performance. Just see what happens, you know? Okay, now we're getting about 90 FPS. Does not look great, but see, still we're swinging around, we're getting to the 60s. So realistically, just run 1080p, high settings, or go 1080p medium if you want to run all native, and you should be just fine with this game getting around 60 FPS, and it doesn't look too bad. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do, now that we finished all the benchmarks, is talk more about the value proposition of this PC, and give a shout out to this company for making a pre-built that's, one, using pretty much all name brand parts, nothing that you can't fix yourself, nothing proprietary, and makes for a cost-effective upgrade option that isn't a really crappy PC from something like STG on Amazon that's using a very outdated CPU and a kind of overkill graphics card. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up and talk about the rest of the benchmarks.
So we just did 2 runs of benchmarks, one with the 5600 GT, which is just the APU, and as you guys can see, not the greatest, very much entry level. You gotta be willing to absolutely work with the PC, and then upgrading it to about a $650 build total with the RX 7600 made this build pretty dang good.
Now we'll talk about the other benchmarks we ran on top of the ones we already did side by sides of. We ran CS2 on the 5600G at 1080p low settings, got an average of only 83 FPS with a 1% low of 60, but with the RX 7600, that average went up to 250 with a 1% low of 115. We also tried to launch Black Myth Wukong on the APU. It wouldn't do it. So then that's a no launch right there. But with the GPU, we got an average of 86 FPS, the max of 111 with a minimum of 60, running low settings with no upscaling. And lastly, our 30 mark score with the 5600G was only 1,373, but add in that GPU and it goes up to 10,116, which at this price point is a 6 cent per point score. So all in all, for $400, this being a starter PC that uses all name brand components, I do give it a big thumbs up for that. You are sacrificing performance out of the box versus one of those cheaper systems with an older CPU and a better GPU, but for longevity, I think this is a better option. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below, and if you want to buy this thing, link in the description down below will be an affiliate and it will help us out.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
This PC will be for sale at PCBros.tech with that GPU upgrade because we want you guys to be ready to go out of the box.
PCBros.tech. We sell gaming PCs we feature here on the YouTube channel and a bunch of other ones that you can buy today. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You'll save 3% on your next purchase. Fast shipping, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye.